Funny how people are always entertained by what goes on in the industry, but they never have an insight as to what goes on behind the scenes that lead to all these performances that we see playing out on these platforms. Now, you've got to be stuck on stupid to underestimate the value of a catalog like Robert Kelly, and why hearing things like mute R. Kelly from those individuals who have no problem sugarcoating allegations by certain people in the industry and allowing them to get on platforms and assassinate the character of the next, when everybody can see plain and clear these artists go through the same things. So when I come out here and I say this whole topic in itself is bigger than Robert Kelly, and all these weird ass people are activated to come on these platforms to keep facilitating these false narratives, it should be a no brainer why I decided to document it what I see rather than be somebody's crash dummy refurbishing information that clearly makes Robert Kelly look guilty, and all these people that have been labeled enablers, co-conspirators, the opportunities to do all this behind the scenes nonsense, put all these stories out to these journalists, come to YouTube and gas up certain individuals, and then hide their hands and act like they're really doing these things on behalf of Robert Kelly. And then when I hear all these people on these platforms speak on the topic at hand, talk about this sentence that was passed down to this man, and not even recognize the things they're talking about is not why this man was convicted in New York, is why I can't take a lot of these opinions serious, and why I, unlike others, didn't rely on people bringing me janky ass information when I can, as you see, document what I believe, what I think on my own terms without being put in the midst of a federal investigation by dummies. Now, granted, some people took a lot of people's position as them trying to control their platforms instead of realizing that the things that they were engaging in behind the scenes, being led by some of these sketchy ass people, is why some of us decided to keep our distance and watch the bullshit play out.
Would you? What?
ACP, you see this?
Look, if it ain't official Dana J, Levi for Kelly, Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it. Just take the time. Look, you got some weed? Dang. You gotta get some. All right, hurry up. These and them here, everybody here, we waiting on you.
I do believe in my heart that 1999 video that was done with R. Kelly and that little girl, I do believe that little girl was.
Now, clearly, unlike a lot of these people, I made it very clear I'm not here to align myself next to nobody, to try to get next to Robert Kelly's inner circle, to try to get next to some of these people who claim to be supporters. And I just showed you exactly why. Because every time these janky ass people brought a new person my way or tried to bring my attention to an individual, I'd go check them out and see them saying some goofy ass shit like what I just showed you. And now you see why so many people are misguided, because so many people were put here to continuously keep saying counterproductive ass comments, putting out counterproductive ass messages that don't dispute the accusations that I clearly show you are all over the place and the origins of them all. Yet it should say a lot that even on this man's sentencing day, people were more focused with YouTube shenanigans than again pushing the talking points of how this whole RICO case is manufactured. All these people put all this information on these platforms and hid behind the most gullible, stupid characters who were willing to take the fall for them. Do I have sympathy for them? Fuck no. Why? Because I showed them, just like I showed you, why I don't fuck with none of this bullshit that these people are engaging in.
And before you think I'm on the team with these people, I'd rather just make it clear. I don't give a fuck about you. I'll be kumbaya. We all have an understanding of respect. But are we friends on the team? No, not at all. The only person that I'm friends with and on the team with is DJ Tyson. Nobody else. Not one person. Not one person. They ain't yelling the enterprise and they telling lies. Point blank, period. If they ain't part of the enterprise, they telling lies. Because anybody that's gritty, defending Robert Sylvester Kelly would say, hey, the indictment says anybody that's with him is the enterprise. And I'm with him. That's what I'm saying. And if you're with him, then say you the enterprise too. Don't say it because I told you. Just tell it because that's what they said. They said the enterprise, the managers, bodyguards, runners, personal assistants, people of the entourage of Robert Sylvester Kelly, which will be his fans. That's all of us. So if you ain't saying, hey, according to your indictment, Sylvester Kelly, if you ain't willing to go as far as being willing to go, if we'll pay the consequences, if there is any consequences, but I doubt that there'll be a consequence from the taxpaying citizen, from the man who has succinctly named credit carrying cards and defrauded a federal financial institution for personal gain for his goddamn stuff. All right? Are you gonna keep playing with me? Don't you know my home kidnapped kids? They ass and throw them over the bridge. My homie love to kidnap kids, fuck them in their ass and throw them over the bridge. Now eat that. Sleep on that. Before you get some motherfucking way and get fucked in your ass and get thrown over motherfucker.
Now, my message started out real short, simple, and straight to the point. Ain't nobody behind the scenes gonna gas me up to come on these platforms and act ignorant for no reason. I ain't raising no money. I ain't telling the attorneys how to do their job. I ain't submitting no motions behind their back. I ain't trying to sue no accusers. I ain't doing none of that goofy ass shit to make no entertainment for nobody. So when I seen individuals who just kept on pushing my buttons, I realized either one or two things. Either they're completely dumb or they're out here on their own mission, which has nothing to do with me. So then, as I see them continuously trying to incite people to attack me, that was clearly where I had to realize these people ain't that dumb. They're clearly out here capping for some of these people that should be under investigation. Now, as I said, 6 degrees of separation. If I don't believe Robert Kelly committed any of these crimes he was convicted of, why would I give my platform to these individuals I suspect are putting things out here deliberately to hurt this man's case? Period. So, yep, I watched all these individuals team up every time I come out here and say something with common sense just because they want to rely on these janky-ass sources. I watched them try to incite people to come at me just to remind you we peep game over here.
Like the sweetest joy next to get pussy. Picture paragraph loaded. While the words being quoted. Quickly, quickly, with the rap gang quoted. Bow down. Hail Mary, one quick seed. What do we have here now? It's Mike Tyson.
What's up with Don? I'm gonna call Don, y'all. I got Don personal number. I'm gonna call him. Oh, Triana, how you pronounce it? No, I didn't tag you. I tagged my decorators, but I did tell everybody I want to thank my entire team. There's too many names to name everybody, but I tag because they deserve that credit. You get credit when credit is due, and they deserve that credit.
We off the bus. Yeah, we off the bus. We got here back here. Yeah, you got a video of this shit. Once we left the bus, we got shade on. Chill, y'all. Y'all can't be here. Chill, y'all. Y'all can't be here. Chill, y'all. Y'all can't be here. Chill, y'all. Y'all can't be here.
Now, it was clear a lot of these fans are willing to team up and run with bullshit if it goes against a person they don't like, and overlook all the information I have given you to give you insight as to why these people within his so-called inner circle are suspect as fuck to me, and why I prefer to keep my distance. Now, common sense should tell you right about now, what I'm doing is displaying to you the criminal conspiracy that I've witnessed playing out against Robert Kelly, that people like me, the real supporters, have been speaking on since day one, while stupid ass people who don't research the facts, who listen to propaganda, get on platforms and then try to convince the people listening that this whole conspiracy we speak on is just pulled out of our ass and doesn't have facts to back it up. So maybe all these people speaking fell for the bait and switch and got so much more focus on these YouTube personalities that took away from the focus of these individuals leading these narratives, leading this criminal conspiracy, and who should equally be investigated just like the crash dummies they put out here. But it's funny, even as you all watched even them fall out, people couldn't separate their personal agenda to keep R. Kelly down, to recognize all this they're putting out here gives people like me reason to doubt this man's guilt as the crash dummies crash and burn. But let's just think about this logically. With all the talking and dry snitching they've been doing on these platforms, how long you think they're gonna hold it down as they're given the same treatment as Robert Kelly? But hey, maybe some people so gassed up on their own hate, they forgot. I come out here saying all these people needed to be investigated instead of putting all the blame on one individual and hiding behind a RICO enterprise that doesn't exist when it comes to the music. Now, what we saw playing on these platforms speaks for itself.
Money go. The less than $10,000 that was said to be in the account, and prior motions filed by the state in the R. Kelly's case. Where did the money go? Less than 10,000. But Fat Boy has already told us that over 20,000 was sent in 3 transactions by one individual. What's going on around here, y'all? Some real fishy. Something is real fishy. Do y'all think I should put Prima Ho on the board? Do y'all think I should put Prima Ho on the board? If so, let me see a 1 in the chat for yes.
a 2 in the chat for no? Do you think Prima Ho needs to be on the board? If so, let me see a 1 in the chat for yes, a 2 in the chat for no. I'm not trying to sling no mud. I'm just trying to see what's going on around me. You know? Some kind of suspicious movement going on around here. You know, if we was in the street and motherfuckers was moving like this, man, it might be a cold one left out there.
Now it's funny, even on Robert Kelly's sentencing day, all these goofy ass people were more concerned about the same individual that they watched get on these platforms being irate, targeting so many different women, posting people's kids, posting addresses, carrying on all this rhetoric, and even being implicated in this bullshit murder for hire narrative that I personally try to avoid talking about, as clearly all these people wanted to make it content. Make this shit make sense. So if anybody want to sit around here talking about who's to blame for what, it's the people who sat back and didn't say shit, as I continuously showed you, regardless of whether you believe the rhetoric they're spilling. Clearly, this ain't the way to represent when you're advocating for an individual.
Supposed to be your friend.
He's not my friend.
Y'all said on YouTube calling each other bros, calling you.
No, he said on YouTube calling me bros. He said on YouTube calling me bros.
Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. Picture paragraph loaded by the words being quoted. Quickly victim with the rap gang quoted. Bow down. Hail Mary, one quick C. What do we have here now? It's Mike Tyson.
I can't go back and forth with you. Now, if this my bro, and I only know you from YouTube, and I'm putting up a strong front for the vindication of Robert Sylvester Kelly, and you come with an accusation that supports Robert Sylvester Kelly's enemies, whom I believe set him up, put him in jail, and etc. But his own enemies don't believe you. If I reach out to them to say, hey, I don't like y'all. Y'all ain't gotta like me. But what he's saying ain't happen like that. That don't mean we friends. That don't mean we working together. You know what that means? It means this. Because those guys, Levi, Dana, Larry, after hearing that the enterprise is nothing but an orgy, whores, and women being taken advantage of by the leadership of my influence, they could have pounced all over that. They could have. And if I'm going to war with them, it's fair. But they had integrity. They had integrity. Literally extort. Because what that nigga tell you when he got mad? You called me telling me you would extort those niggas. I'll tell everything. You was going to extort them, Debo. You was going to extort them. Why was Debo going to extort some niggas that he working with? Huh? Huh? Tell me that. How many people heard him say, I was going to extort Larry and Dana? Put a 1 in the chat for yes. Put a 2 in the chat for no. How many people heard him say that I was going to extort Bozo and the Masked Man? How many people heard him say that I was going to extort him? Put a 1 in the chat for yes. Put a 2 in the chat for no. How the fuck I'm going to be working with a motherfucker? He out on the fucking screen and told your ass I was going to fucking extort. Get your ass off the phone with me, you dumb dog head bitch.
Like Bozo? No, I'ma follow behind that bitch. Why I'ma jump in the Sprinter? We suited up. We suited up. Kells don't need no nigga like me around him. Because these motherfuckers wouldn't be here right now. It wouldn't be a fucking board. You know what it'd be? You know what it'd be? A whole lot of, please, leave me alone. Please, I'm done. I already told the truth. That's what it'd be fucking with me. I don't fucking play. You don't know me, lady.
The conclusion of this video, for all those people that got offended trying to jump ahead of my content, make assumptions, and disregard what I'm telling you and showing you, fuck your motherfucking feelings. Because I told you how it would play out. And I also told you I'm very patient when it comes to reading all the documents involved with this case. And why I said to disassociate Robert Kelly from all this monkey shit you see playing out on YouTube for obvious reasons. So in conclusion, Robert Kelly's true supporters are not swayed by yesterday's sentencing, nor do I personally have any empathy for any of these fools who jumped in the midst of a federal investigation, ignored their common sense, and sacrificed their lives trying to prove a stupid-ass point that, as I told you, this was all a spiritual attack between me, you, and Robert Kelly. Everybody has their own battle. Now, am I going to go out here and tell you to break the law to prove a point? That's stupid. God has the final say. Unless, hey, that's just one of those things that is filled with hypocrisy.
Something good. Something good.
And oh yeah, I will be re-editing this to help these people with their privacy violations. See y'all later.